In a world where one man is the hope for all mankind, and another man is the opposite of that, where he's the bad guy that hates hope, they're about to find out they're the same person. Jackie Chan is a man on the edge, and the person trying to push him off the edge, Jackie Chan, in a race to save a child that the studio will not let die, also played by Jackie Chan, on a volcano, and with a rocket launcher fight in space, and robots, and stunts, big, dangerous stunts. And at the end, we'll play a reel where Jackie fucks up the stunts and gets hurt real bad. We know that's what you want, you bloodthirsty pigs. Patrick Wall is Jackie Chan, with Riley Bowen as Jackie Chan, and introducing producer Drew as Jackie Chan. In a Jackie Chan-fueled edge-of-your-seat roller coaster thrill ride sure to leave you breathless. Delete everything. Movie Set Mishaps 2. This time, we're talking about Jackie Chan. Coming this summer.
Fucking hell. Yay! We did it! Oh, God, I hate it. Hey gang, thanks for being here on Delete Everything Podcast, our little feel-good hit of the summer, here to tickle your imagination with knowledge about, unknown and forgotten and deleted partial histories. I'm Patrick Wall, and with me as always, the Bill to my Ted,
Riley Bowen.
the Morpheus to my Neo,
Riley Bowen.
the Bodie to my Johnny Utah,
Riley Bowen.
Riley's here. My co-host Riley. We've also got producer Drew here hanging out again. Producer Drew, hey Drew.
Yo.
Hey buddy. Thank you again to those of you who have given us ratings and reviews. You guys are fucking incredible. And
Except that one guy.
he's still hurting about it. I honestly can't be more sincere in saying like you guys are fucking amazing. So like I've said, it's fucking awesome for anyone to take the time to boost us that way. So if you have not yet, please get on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, whatever platform you might be listening on. Give us 5 stars. Leave us a review. It is our currency in this business. I mentioned it last week. We are competing with a lot of other podcasts, and it seems like everyone who is like already famous and like has all the fame and success and money, and they're all like, "Hey, let's do a podcast," and just like day one they have 1 billion listeners just by way of being like
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, just be
Damn it.
Like Conan's cool, but like, dude, come on, like
I don't need to.
You already have. Don't you have enough things to do? Don't you have enough money? Don't you have like enough?
Hey, I'm not gonna hate on Conan.
Attention.
No, his podcast is really good.
Conan's
actually.
a goddamn comedy legend, and he's just doing the podcast. So.
But I mean, it's not just Conan. It's every famous actor you can fucking imagine. Professional athletes, musicians, like all these people. So we're competing with all of that, and so like anything you guys do to help us. Whether it's, ratings, reviews, or just telling your friends, like that's absolutely fucking killer.
Kill a famous person.
Who has a podcast. And, I've said it before, the more engaged you guys are with us, the better it is. So take a second if you like us and let us know. That would be pretty incredible, right?
I'm putting a hit out on Ken Jeong.
Wow. Of all the people, I would.
Yeah, why Ken Jeong?
He did a podcast during the pandemic where he gave medical advice because he's a medical doctor.
He is a doctor.
He's a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
But it was also it was community themed, so he and Joel McHale did it.
Okay.
Well,
and it wasn't very good.
it wasn't.
Well, you can't all be winners.
The best part of that podcast was when they did like a community reunion on the podcast, and they were all talking about like the text thread that they talked through, and Donald Glover was like, "You guys are on a text thread?" And they were all like, "We thought that you were too famous to text." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Are they doing the movie? I think they're doing.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think they've confirmed
That's-
they're
yeah,
doing the movie.
Yeah, that would be good.
Everyone but Chevy Chase.
Not Chevy Chase.
It'd be good if he popped up as a ghost.
He's a fucking pompous
They
douche.
exercised him. Yeah, I'm very public.
Yeah,
with
we've
my
talked.
dislike
We've talked a lot
Chevy
of shit
Chase.
about Chevy Chase.
What a piece of shit.
So we also have some social media and other ways of supporting the show that we will tell you guys at the end. You can also hit us up at deleteeverythingpodcast@gmail if you have any show suggestions or if you just want to say hi. By the way, shout out to Jake for sending us some show suggestions this week. One of them was already on our list. One of the topics actually really intrigues me. Should we just say them?
Yeah, go for it.
So he suggested bananas. Which
That's bananas.
I mean, I think the subtext there is, the sort of bananas not being the bananas of yesteryear. They've changed entirely. Like
Yeah, now they're wearing pajamas.
What? So stupid. That was the worst joke. You know what? Delete this. Start over.
Delete everything. Hey, Jake.
The other one that really intrigues, the one that really intrigues me actually is X-rated movie theaters.
Hell yeah.
Which is a thing of the past
Like
that
legacy
a
theaters.
lot of people don't know about or remember or haven't thought about for a long time.
I've always wanted to open a movie theater. Like that's like my big dream. If
Like an erotic?
No, like just a theater, like a community movie theater.
Uh-huh.
Like you go through like a small town in like Georgia or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
You see
yeah,
just a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
like
Just
a
a little
privately
shithole
owned little
theater.
Yeah,
Potbellies.
like Potbellies. Yeah. Not so much like the Corazon Theater. They tried to get a little
They got
elevated.
artsy. They got real artsy.
But before it, when it's Potbellies and you could like smoke in there and you just had bench seating.
and you could order pitchers of beer. We had a group that would go in there when we were like 18, 19
Dude, it
and
was the
order
coolest.
pitchers of Red Wolf beer.
Yeah, that place is cool as
And
fuck.
Stouffer's pizzas, like the little French bread pizzas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did some bad stuff in there.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
When I was 21, I went and saw the movie Looper, and I was the only person in the theater, and I drank a bucket of beer and like smoked cigarettes because there's nobody there. I asked, like, is it cool if I smoke in here? They're like, I don't give a fuck. And but it was like it was on film. So
Yeah.
like my cigarette smoke was like getting lit up by the projection. It was fucking dope. But I've always wanted to.
You felt like an old 50s
I've always wanted to
producer.
have a theater, like own like a theater like that. Probably a little classier than Potbellies. But it would be nice if I could have one room that's like solid bench seating, so that I could have jerk off night, and I could just play classic 70s erotica.
Wow.
Because I think that people really need the sense of community of jacking off in the dark next to a complete stranger.
I mean, R.I.P. If Paul Rubens was still with us, he might join you.
Poor Paul. He had a bad rap.
He did. He actually
He
did.
probably shouldn't have jacked off at that movie theater.
Was he actually jacking it?
No, it was like a sting. He went to a fucking.
He was at an erotic.
He went
was
to
at
a
an
porn
erotic
theater.
theater.
He went to an X-rated
sure,
porn theater.
for
He
sure.
sat in there and watched porn, and may or may not have jacked off. Doesn't matter. But he got arrested for public indecency.
Yeah, which is
but
it's
it
not
was
public.
just there was a cop there that fucking just recognized him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna make my name.
My
He didn't
kid
arrest-
watches him.
He didn't arrest anybody else at this theater
Yeah.
because that's what it was there for. People knew very well that you were going to jerk it at this fucking
kind of
thing.
fucked his shit up for like
for
a
like
while.
ever.
Yeah.
It really. I mean, like his career never really recovered.
Yeah.
Even now, like after he died, because I was such a big Pee Wee Herman fan. After he died, I posted some stuff online, and like I got like multiple comments from people that I know that was like, "Yeah, didn't he like fuck little kids or something?"
Jesus.
No, dude.
No.
He jacked off at a jack-off theater.
That's what I remember hearing in the 90s. is
Yeah,
that he
everyone was like, "Oh,
a
he's a
kid
That
that
he was
diddler."
diddling kids?
Yeah.
But because he had what was like thought of as
Because it was a
children's show.
sexual, and it was
Yeah,
a
it's
crime,
something dirty.
quote
And
unquote, crime of a sexual
And
nature.
the mugshot of him, he looks like Nick Cage from Con Air. He's got like, he's wearing a wife beater. He's got like greasy long hair, and like everyone's like, "Holy shit!"
How did anybody even recognize this guy?
In the meantime, he was just trying to enjoy, some nice 70s art.
Oh, the other one that Jake sent us was car technologies, which I think could be interesting if we go all the way back to like Model A and
That'd be
then
cool.
just work our way up, or actually pre-Model A.
I grew up at the Henry Ford Museum. I actually like have like kind of a little bit of insight into that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
grew up at the Henry Ford. You,
my mom
you
worked,
live
my,
in the fucking
my mom worked
AC
there
ducts.
my whole childhood. So like I did like every summer camp and after schools and shit like that.
I used to scuttle around the AC ducts.
I did famously in my legend just ditched the summer camp one time and spent the whole day doing a fucking mixed up files of Mrs. Basil Fault Writer, or you know that book? It's about
No.
the kids that just hide out in the museum. Anyway, I fucked
don't.
off from the summer camp, and I just ran around the museum and like crawled under trains and shit, and like I was getting dusty in the exhibits. It's like 7 or some shit.
Getting dusty in the exhibits sounds
My mom found
weirdly sexual.
My mom found me at like 6 o'clock in the evening when they're trying to shut down the museum. She's running around frantically like, "Where is my son?" And I'm fucking leaving my greasy fingerprints all over the chair that Lincoln died in and shit.
Oh my god. Well, you will be thrilled because we mentioned this last episode, how we had to do another one of these, and
hey,
we're
Jake.
going to do it today.
Jake, big dogs run hot.
But okay. Anyway, we're doing part 2 of movie mishaps, which, if you have not listened to part 1, is
The first part.
crazy shit that has happened on many movies that you know and love, and all of the injuries and like deaths, dismemberments, paralysis. There are a lot of really fucking crazy things that these studios bury completely. So here we are to tell you about them.
Yeah, crazy stuff that happens. Like, Scarlett Johansson was married to Ryan Reynolds.
For like a year.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that,
know
right?
that?
Like, no.
It was brief. It was a
Everyone
brief.
just talks about Blake Lively. Psh.
Yeah. What's
What does
going
she
on?
do?
What's
Gossip
going on
Girl?
with
Get
her
outta
these
here.
days?
Who cares?
She's
Did she
suing
get-
some guy.
Oh, yeah. She was on a movie, and I guess the guy was like a piece of shit to her the whole time.
And now this guy's countersuing her for libel? Defamation? Because she...
I thought she was in hot water or something.
No, that's it. That's the movie, the Reef that she did, where she's
Yes.
in it, or it's shallow.
No,
the
the
shallow
Shallows.
water. The
The
shallows.
shallows. Yes. She's on a surfboard.
That was it. She was in some hot water.
Which, like, the
Yeah.
beginning of it is kind of cool.
The Shark
And
Vendetta.
then by the end, she's like blowing up the shark with
Shark
a flare
Vendetta.
gun or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sharks with vendettas.
I'm like, oh, okay, this sucks.
That's
Never
my
mind.
favorite. Jaws 3D, The Revenge. That's a that's
Every-
a good shark with a vendetta.
Every movie that's got sharks with vendettas, I'm like, what? They're just fish. They
I
don't.
love Michael Caine talking about Jaws: The Revenge. He's like, I've never seen the film, but it bought me a house.
Yeah, I
You could probably do the voice.
I've never seen the film. No,
No.
I can't quite. I can't do English
I've never,
accents. Aren't
I've
really my
never
thing.
seen the film, but it bought me a house.
No,
Something
no,
like that.
no. That's a little too cockney.
It's too cockney.
It's a little
It's
cockney
not
for
the
Michael
size,
Caine.
mate. It's how you use it. That's a little better.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
That's not bad. That was good. That was good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he wasn't there to accept an Academy Award because he was filming Jaws 3D.
No, Jaws 3D and Jaws: The Revenge are separate films.
no, those are the same movie.
No, they're not.
Jaws: The Revenge?
3D actually takes place in Florida. Jaws: The Revenge.
Is that the one with Dennis Quaid? Where they're
That's
in,
Jaws 2.
No,
3.
Jaws
3.
2. Jaws 2 is still the same guy from the first
Jaws
one.
3
Yes.
is Dennis Quaid.
Jaws 3 is so that's Jaws 3D.
And Sally is Sally,
Sally
Fields?
Fields?
In that, or
Yeah,
is it
they're
just the
like-
girl that looks like Sally
counselors
Fields?
at like a marine world, right?
Yeah, they're at Marine
That's
land or
Jaws
some
3.
shit like that. Yeah, that's
Which is
Jaws.
That's Jaws 3D. And then Jaws 4 is the Revenge.
Jaws 4: The Revenge is
That's
the
the
shark
one-
that follows them to the fucking Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, yeah,
It was like the spouse of the.
Yes.
Or no,
with the like Caribbean black guy.
Jaws.
Yes.
Jaws 2 is the spouse.
Who's like,
No,
bomba clot, them
no, Jaws
sharks
are-
gonna eat your ass.
What's his head is still in Jaws too. You know, the cop guy from the
Roy
first one.
Scheider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still in Jaws too.
Great.
He's
Jaws
not in 3.
He's not in any of them after
He's not
that.
in
And then
3.
the fourth one, I believe, is the spouse from the first two.
Yeah. But at
It's-
the beginning of that movie, her son gets eaten by a Jaws.
Yes. By a Jaws, not a shark, a Jaws.
I mean, they're different. They're different things than just sharks. They're Jawses.
It's Jaws' like, I want to say Jaws 3. Isn't it like the child of Jaws? Isn't there like a thing in the movie where they're like, oh yeah,
It's like 1 and 2 are like spouses. It's like the shark wife. The
some
second one is like the shark
silly
wife.
shit like that.
And the third one is like a son.
I think the sharks have generational trauma. I think
Yeah,
is what
yeah, it's
the
'cause
Jaws is all
they
about.
really
The
carried it-
generational
carried it
trauma
through,
of
and then-
great white sharks.
And then in the fourth one, another like a child of Jaws eats the child of Roy Scheider from the first one, and then his wife has to fight and kill it with Michael Caine.
Yeah, and they run a boat into it or something.
I mean, they do. I mean, what else?
There
are
was
you
a
gonna
couple
do?
different
The
cuts
fuck
because it was
else are you
such a
gonna
bad
do?
movie.
the Jaws 1 was the electrical wire.
You should have.
No, Jaws 1 is the tank.
You know what they would have?
Jaws 1 is
Smile,
the
you
is
son of a
the
bitch, or
is-
whatever.
okay. So
Son of a
Jaws
bitch.
2 is the electrical.
That's the wire.
line.
Jaws 3, it's like a grenade or some shit.
Dennis
underwater
Quaid,
grenade.
Young Dennis Quaid with a grenade.
I did not know that
Dennis
was
Quaid grenade.
Quaid with a grenade.
Quaid
Quaid
grenade.
with a grenade.
Quake Grenade's a
band
good
name.
band name.
There's a band name.
Band
Quaid
name
with a grenade.
Quaid with a grenade. I think is the band name. Damn,
That's not
that's
bad.
2 today. One on the
Put it in.
Patreon, one here.
Do you think that if they had made those,
What was 4?
that's just Jaws 4?
No, I mean,
it's the revenge.
how did he kill? The only
They
thing I
run a
remember
fucking
is
boat into him.
the only thing I remember is like Bumbaclot Rude Boy is down in the bottom of the ocean and he's like he can't come back up because Jaws is like
That's the
circling.
first one.
No, that happens in the 4th one too.
Yeah, that happens a couple times.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I go
'cause
through like
Jaws,
every.
Jaws is trolling. And,
The first one that happens with what's his name? Dreyfuss, Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
I've been told many times that I look like Richard Dreyfuss.
I can
Actually,
see
right
it.
now I'm a little shaggy and I get my hair's kind of up. Like
yeah,
I got like a Dreyfuss
guess.
thing
Yeah,
going
sure.
on.
I get it.
There's
Yeah.
a quality.
Yeah, he's turned into a kind of a piece of shit in his old age, but whatever.
Has he?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, he's an old crotchety guy now.
Yeah, he's very like anti-gays and transes
Oh,
and shit. He's
well,
just
that's
openly
silly.
just like, why would you want to wear a dress? Does it make me hot if I wear a dress?
Just
Like, no,
because
it's
you
fucking
don't
creepy.
get it doesn't. You know what? All right, whatever.
Like I said on the Patreon, I'm just done liking people.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
After the
I'll say-
Hawking thing, I'm pissed.
I just think that I can like people's like decades.
Producer
There's decades where I'm
Producer Drew had his every bit of sort of shine and sheen on Stephen Hawking today decimated on our Patreon episode. So he's
Thanks,
because
guys.
he likes to watch naked dwarf ladies try and get things off the top of cabinets
on Epstein Island.
on Epstein Island, and he's like, yes, jump for it.
Liked. Past
so-
tense. He's very dead.
so in the last episode of Movie Mishaps, we did 2000s, 2010s, 2020s was were
Yeah,
the
so
decades
we going
covered.
further back.
So we're starting in the 90s, and we're going from one Spielberg movie to another.
Hell yeah.
Back to the Future Part 3.
Hey, one more comment real quick.
know this one.
I know this one too. One more comment real quick
Yeah.
on Jaws. If they made Jaws today, it would be called Jaw, and then the second one would be called Jaws, and then Jaw 3,
I
or
think
Jaw
is it-
3D, and then Jaw 4 the
Are
Revenge.
you likening it to Saw?
No, they didn't do that with Saw. They didn't. It wasn't like Saws.
Sawses. Jaws.
What is
Alien.
At some point it would be Jaw Z.
with a Z.
Yeah.
Or Jaw X.
Jaw
Jocks.
X and Jaws and Jocks.
The jaw.
Or it'd be like the third one would be JA with the 3, like the Roman numeral.
On its side, like laying on its back.
No, it would look like a W.
Yeah. So like a 3 laying on its
It'd
back.
probably be like
Return during the trailer. You know what I mean?
So yeah, Back to the Future Z
Dun-dun, dun-dun.
from 1990. There's the scene in the. If you don't know Back to the Future 3, that's the Old West one. right?
Yeah,
Where
it's
they
the
go
best
back
one.
to
That's
the-
the,
That is
I've
not the
best one. What are you talking about?
They're all good. That is not the best one.
okay.
Back to the Future 2 is the best one.
No, it's the first one.
What?
So
What are
this is rare. We got 3 people with 3
Yeah,
opposing
that's
views.
wild.
First one.
Okay.
Perfect
Second
movie.
one. Second one.
Perfect movie. I love the second one. It was
me
my
out.
favorite growing up.
The second one implements parts of the first one, which is what makes it so cool.
And the third one. Do you not remember that? In the second one, when
Jog
he
my
goes
memory.
forward into future and he sees himself getting hung, and then they readdress that in the third movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Michael J.
Almost-
Fox almost dies because
almost
they
dies.
actually hung him.
Yeah.
In 1990's Back to the Future 3, there's a scene where Buford Mad Dog Tannen is him and the gang wrestle up some Michael J. Fox and
Wrestling up some fox.
and hang him there in the middle of the town. Michael J. Fox actually lost consciousness from asphyxiation, and nobody even realized. Like, it took a few seconds, and an extra realized that he was literally being hung to death by this fucking noose. So they cut him down, and yeah.
I believe that's the take they used too, because you can see him turning red.
Yeah, and he wrote about it later. He wrote an autobiography, and he wrote about it. So if you want to hear the whole story from straight from the man's lips,
What's the book? The Time I Got Murdered by Michael J. Fox.
the writing's a little trembly, so
God.
it's hard
No,
to read.
knew it was gonna
I
happen.
knew it was gonna happen.
The name
He's
of
a
the
national treasure.
name of the
Patrick. He's just
autobi-
got the Medal of Freedom or whatever.
Oh God!
It's
You know what? I love him. His part in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Did you ever see those episodes where he's in Curb Your
Oh, it's where
Enthusiasm?
I know that one.
Where he lives above Larry David, and like, so he's constantly like making noise in the apartment above, and he's like, is it the Parkinson's, or is he an asshole?
And like he keeps like he does shit like knock things over and be like,
Yeah.
oh sorry,
Yeah.
Parkinson's. That's a good
Constantly blaming everything on Parkinson's.
such a
It's
good
actually
bit.
really funny. His autobiography, by the way, is called Lucky Man. So, what else from the 90s? Do you guys know?
Hey, did we bring up Back to the Future 2?
No, that's from the late 80s. We are not in the 80s yet.
Okay, so we gonna bring that up later?
We can. Do you
Well, it
want to
seems-
do you want to
seems
skip
weird.
ahead?
You're gonna do like decades.
We've been
instead
doing
of,
it by the decades. That's how we did. That's
All
how we
right,
did part
we'll
one.
hold it. Dramatic tension,
Yeah, exactly. Keep people wanting more.
and then we'll go back
To the
to
future.
Back to the Future.
So I don't know this movie. Are you familiar with Delta Force 2: The Colombian
Fucking
Connection
shit,
from
yeah.
1990?
Chuck Norris, baby.
I don't think that's true at all. Delta Force 2
I mean, Delta Force is a Chuck Norris.
is a Chuck Norris movie. I don't know if he was in Delta Force 2: The Colombian Connection.
The second one was beneath him.
Are you consulting the Oracle?
I am.
All right, cool. Well, while you do that, 5 people were killed in a helicopter crash during filming in the Philippines.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the fatalities were pilot. I don't believe this guy.
Oh yeah,
this
Chuck
is his
Norris.
real name.
Chuck Norris is absolutely.
Is he in the second one?
It was not
Yeah.
beneath him.
The
Ooh, and Mark Margulies.
the name of the helicopter pilot, and I don't.
Oh God, hey, actually,
Jojo Imperiale.
this is gonna a little throwback. A little throwback to the last episode. You remember we talked about fucking Kurt Russell's stunt double.
Oh, Dick Warlock.
Dick Warlock is in Delta Force 2.
Is he really?
He plays DEA agent in Van.
Nice.
Yeah, Dick Warlock. Can
Do
you
you think-
imagine
That was
being
his
Is
name.
that his given name? Or
Yeah.
do you think
Rich,
it's-
Richard Warlock. He went
Warlock.
by Dick.
Dick Warlock? Can you imagine being a Kurt Russell lookalike / stuntman named Dick Warlock in like L.A. in 1982?
So much pussy and cocaine.
Jesus Christ!
So
Like that guy wrote his
much.
life. He's, what do I want to be when I
that
grow
guy
up?
was
Like,
up,
fuck me.
up to his neck in cocaine and pussy. Eyeballs deep. Bro.
Eyeballs deep.
Eyeballs deep in one and balls deep in the other. So yeah, the fatalities were pilot Jojo Imperiale, which is that's if you're going to be a helicopter pilot, I guess that's a name. There was an actor, Jeff Brewer. Do you know who Jeff Brewer? Geoff. It's spelled Geoff Brewer.
Jeff Brewer, that's Jim Brewer's brother.
No, it isn't.
He's like, I gotta
Cameraman.
get out of this Delta Force, man.
Cameraman Gotti Danzig, Glenn Danzig's brother. Jojo, don't you crash the fucking helicopter. Jojo. Jesus Christ. Jojo!
God damn it! I thought I told you never to Danzig on this podcast.
Key grip Michael Graham and gaffer Don Marshall. So those are the 5 people that died. The pilot, one of the actors, the cameraman, key grip, and gaffer.
That's like on the last episode. I was like, can you imagine if like your dad was like a badass stuntman and died doing like fucking the
Stuntman
Untouchables
shit.
3?
Yeah.
But there's like Delta Force 2 back in Columbia. God damn it!
I think the joke for that episode was what's the old man action movies?
The old man action movies. There's Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2, starring Walter Matthau.
No,
and
no,
Jack
no, no.
Lemmon.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Gone Fishing with Joe
Oh,
Pesci
fuck.
and
With all the old guys, the fucking
Danny Glover.
Schwarzenegger and
Untouchables?
Stallone and
the Untouchables, the
Is that the
Expendables, the
Expendables?
I said the
Expendables.
Expendables, didn't I?
no.
Did I
You
just
said
say?
Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2.
No, I said like if your fucking
Gone
dad
Fishing.
died on like Expendables
well,
2.
Gone Fishing is a fucking Adam Sandler movie.
No, that's Joe Pesci and Danny Glover.
What's the Adam Sandler movie? The one before like Billy
That's
Madison.
the Cobbler.
No, he did one called
Wow.
Gone Fishing.
Gone Fishing?
I'm pretty sure.
No, that never existed.
I can see the fucking.
Oh, going fishing, catching a fish.
I hope it's a trout.
I
would clean the fishes and take him home and fry him in a pan.
Adam Sandler's gone fishing. That's not something.
Gone Overboard.
Going Overboard. That's Kurt Russell and
No, that's
Goldie
just
Hawn.
Overboard.
What?
The name of that movie is just Overboard.
I think he's right.
Yeah. Damn, I know more about movies than you do. Dick.
No, it's not true.
It's not. But
I like the movie Overboard because it's a movie where Kurt Russell kidnaps a woman with a closed head injury and then brainwashes her.
yeah,
That's fun.
to raise his little shit pigs.
Yeah, what's great is if you take that movie and just replace the soundtrack with like a dark, like fucking Phantom of the Opera ass soundtrack, it's a totally different
It's a
thing.
horror, psychological thriller. All right, so there's also a movie 91, Bikini Island, where a stuntman died on the first day of filming during a stunt. He fell off of a 55-foot cliff and landed on some rocks instead of on the airbag that had been placed down to break his fall.
Jesus Christ.
55 feet off a cliff onto rocks, and that's the last moment of your fucking life. And you have to know on the way down, like, I'm not going to hit that.
Oop, off the mark. Ah, boom.
God.
Bikini Island, that could be either like a fun, pleasurable, like beach blanket bingo kind of surf party movie, or it could be about the Bikini Atoll atomic testing, which is something we should do a Patreon on.
That could be a good one, actually.
That is a good one. They did all the atomic tests on Bikini Atoll. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
And yeah, they moved all the indigenous people from the islands off and just kind of like made them homeless on other islands.
Yeah.
And recently they've been trying to like reclaim it, but they got high rates of leukemia and shit.
Yeah, it's still fucking irradiated as fuck.
But they got big tomatoes.
Yeah. Didn't it didn't those tests like
Kill everybody?
move the axis, like to jank up
Yeah,
Earth's
the Axis powers
Well, yeah, eventually.
fucked them up real good.
No, like the axis of the Earth was like,
No, I don't think that happened.
I don't
isn't that a thing?
No, that sounds like sci-fi bullshit.
Did I make that up?
Yep.
think you made that up.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, there's that and
Right.
Adam Sandler's gone fishing.
It's not. It's going overboard, I think.
Is it one where he's on like a cruise?
Maybe. Whose phone is on?
I think that's actually my computer. No, my computer's dead. No, it's not. But it's going to be. That's what that sound was.
Boom.
Going Overboard with Adam Sandler.
This is like pre-Billy Madison.
I like that the poster is just him going, "Who was he?" and then a couple of like women's asses. That's the.
It's
Going overboard.
what does it say? The Love Boat was never quite like this. The Love Boat was never quite like this.
That's
It
actually
just-
where he got the idea to film all
Adam's-
these garbage movies,
Yeah.
just to take all his friends to drop.
He's like, yeah, why fucking stop now? I could just
touch the hiney.
I fucking made my mark on this garbage.
Jesus.
I
All right.
I could do Hubie Halloween.
Let's talk about a couple that everybody knows,
Okay.
or should. Highlander 2, the second Highlander movie.
Ah.
Everybody knows the Highlander movies, right?
Is Highlander 2 still fucking French actor
Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert?
Yeah. I always thought it was funny that they made multiple Highlander movies when the whole
can be
tagline of
only
the
one,
movie is
eh?
there can be only one.
It should have been called Highlander 2 Highlanders.
There can only be one there can only be one Highlander, but they can be all the Highlander movies we want to make.
Did you ever see the series?
Yes, it used to be on Sci-Fi
Kind
Channel.
of fucking cool series.
Yeah,
actually.
it was.
He like went from being like, I gotta fight other people to be the Highlander to like, I'm fighting demons now.
Yeah,
It's like I'm a badass demon hunter.
and training up other Highlanders to be. Well, that was in the movies too, right? Didn't Sean
it's like,
Connery?
turns out doesn't have to be only one.
Yeah, Sean Connery, like in one of the movies, was that
Sean
in
Connery
the first
as
one
the
or-
Spaniard training a Frenchman.
Yeah,
playing a
swords
Scotsman.
Play. Yeah. Weird, so weird, and ultimately there can only be one, so one of you has to behead the other one.
They call him the Spaniard. I believe his backstory is that he was from ancient Egypt, and that he was an eternal Highlander.
Yeah,
But we're not a Highlander. He's an eternal guy from Egypt that like adopted the culture of Spain and became the Spaniard, and then he trained MacLeod, played by Christopher Lambert, the Frenchman, how to be a Scotsman.
Duncan MacLeod.
Yeah, Duncan MacLeod's in.
What? Well, anyway, in the second Highlander movie, by the way, Highlander 2: The Quickening,
Oh, The Quickening. Yeah.
which is something that a woman's uterus does before she gives birth, just FYI.
What?
The quickening. That's when you are about to give birth.
I think there are other definitions of that as
when
well.
your cervix starts to open to allow the child to enter the birth canal.
That's called The Quickening?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what Highlander 2: The Quickening is named after?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know.
You should have looked that up.
I should have.
Why is that not in the dossier?
Christopher Lambert and Michael Ironside.
Christopher Lambert.
Shut the fuck up.
He's fucking French. His name's Lambert.
Yeah, well, who cares?
I do. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, you say every word that's French in the correct accent.
Yeah, do you call the guy fucking Gerard Depardieu?
Where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
None of your goddamn business.
Where are you from?
Michigan.
What town?
Detroit.
Not
Yes.
Detroit.
No, because I'm an
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
born in a localized American area.
Eat
I do
my
have
ass.
I do have, however, French lineage,
Uh-huh.
right? And I know how to pronounce Detroit, but it would be ridiculous to do that. Did you know that when J.R.R. Tolkien wrote The Lord of the Rings, he gave all of the hobbits hobbit fucking names, but since he's acting as somebody who found the manuscript of Lord of the Rings and is translating it into English, he gave them English names?
What?
Yeah, everyth's a filter. All your perspectives are just fucking, you filter them through your own experience.
You're right. So it's Christopher Lambert.
Lambert.
Thank you. During a fight scene, Lambert chipped one of Ironside's teeth.
Hell yeah.
I'm presumably with a fucking sword. I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
fuck yeah.
And then Ironside
Call them iron sides, not iron teeth.
Ironside accidentally fucking severed part of Christopher Lambert's finger.
Fuck yeah.
During a sword fighting scene.
Badass.
Like, severed means it's detached. It's not on you anymore. That's crazy. How about this one? We were talking about these movies earlier. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, 1991.
It's the T2 Judgment Day, but yeah, okay.
Do you remember? God damn it. I fucking quit. Do you remember the scene where Linda Hamilton and what was the little Eddie Furlong go and Arnold, I think, is with them when they all go in the elevator, and then the fucking T-1000 comes and does the fucking
The pry bar
Bryce,
arms.
the vice hands and opens up the thing, and they shoot him with the shotgun. Linda Hamilton suffered permanent hearing damage in one of her ears filming that scene when she fired the gun inside the elevator. She forgot to put her fucking earplugs in.
Damn.
Didn't have earplugs in and fired a fucking shotgun in an elevator.
That's why she was never in any more movies. She couldn't even hear the phone ring to get a casting call.
She also injured her knees from falling on the ground during multiple reshoots of her character being hit in the beginning when she's escaping the asylum.
And the
and dude's fucking hitting her with the
nightstick.
nightstick, and she falls to the ground. They had to do multiple reshoots. She fucked up her knees doing that.
You know, we were talking about helicopters earlier. You probably know this. You both probably know this. But you know the scene in that movie where they fly under the overpass with the helicopter?
Yep.
Like, I guess what do you call the second, not the director, not James Cameron, but the director of photography or something like that.
Yeah, the second unit
refused to do it.
Second unit director or whatever.
Yeah, he refused to do it. He's like, it's too fucking dangerous, which of course it was.
Yeah.
But so Spielberg actually had to get in not Spielberg, fucking Cameron had to get in the helicopter and do it himself because nobody else but the pilot would do it.
Cameron's a fucking madman, dude. Like, he's been down to see the Titanic.
Yeah.
No, he didn't do Titanic, did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He did the movie
Titanic,
specifically too.
but he's like an oceaneer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's his shit.
Well, he's the second or the third person to go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fucking Cameron's
the first
a
two
madman.
guys who did it in a fucking diving bell in like the 1930s or some shit.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
And then nobody did it again until like a decade ago. James Cameron did it. Bottom of the Mariana Trench.
fucking Cameron just makes these massive goddamn movies, and sometimes like the risks are insane, and he's just like, "Fucking do it, we're doing it."
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Fuck it, I'll do it live.
I don't love Avatar or anything, but you got to give it to him.
You got to give it to him.
By the way,
shit looks cool.
By the way, back to that nightstick scene. The actor who played the orderly that was hitting her with the nightstick, gentleman named Ken Gimbel. So Linda Hamilton was actually pissed off that he refused. They had to do multiple takes because he wouldn't hit her right. Like they were doing the multiple takes because they wanted to get it like, oh, he actually fucking shivved her good, right? So because she was frustrated by that, the part where she knocks him out with the broom handle to get out of there, she actually fucking knocked him unconscious. She was like, "I'll show you how to fucking hit right, pansy."
She was so badass in that movie.
She was.
I mean, like her and Sigourney in Alien.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I even want to say Linda Hamilton in T2 is like tier above Sigourney in,
which is super rad too,
because she like that scene where she's doing the fucking pull-ups.
Yeah.
She's
jacked.
fucking yoked, bro. I'm like, Jesus.
If you watch the original Terminator, she's like a real pretty. She's like a pretty pink princess in that one too. So like the transformation is amazing.
Absolutely, and like not just. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell because she hasn't been in a lot of stuff. So, but like, it's almost like acting chops, like the difference between how she was acting in Terminator 1, which is scared little, oh my God, I'm pregnant, this guy. Or I guess she wasn't. She didn't know she was pregnant. In the movie. She got pregnant by a future man.
She's scared as shit of fucking being chased by robots. I just wanted to go to the club.
I was just out doing poppers and I just wanted to go dance and do quaaludes. But yeah, and then like, not only did she get yoked for the second movie, she like the whole attitude, everything, the way she was acting, like she
totally
was
different.
Very fucking like, oh, this lady's a straight up badass.
Do you know what was happening across? Is this in your notes? What was happening across the street from the bar where they shot the infamous like bar fight scene?
No,
you know the I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you know clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
You know it was happening directly across the street.
No.
Rodney King was being beaten savagely by the LA police.
Shut the fuck up.
Not
really?
joking at all. Like directly across the street from where they were filming that. Like in the Rodney King video, you can see the fucking bar where they were filming Terminator 2.
You could see Arnold standing naked inside the bar.
You just see the bar, you know. It's like, but like they were inside
clothes,
doing
your
like
boots,
shit.
and your motorcycle.
But like it was fucking that day they were shooting coverage for fucking Terminator 2.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh, fun fact.
I gotta double check you on that one. But
pretty good. Arnie, Patrick, I gotta give it to you.
What's that?
That's a pretty good Arnie.
I'll get this job.
See, that's what everybody does. But you actually got the.
So,
Sorry, Rap.
by the way, speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, he nearly broke his fingers. You know when he's got the pump shotgun and he's flicking it to cock it.
Speaking of badass shit.
Yeah, they made a shotgun that had the loop lever that was specifically fitted to his hand because he's got presumably a huge fucking hand, and he grabbed like a standard sized one and was doing that scene and flicking it, and every time it was just crunching the shit out of his hand. He just kept doing it, which is, you know, talking about grinning and bearing it, you know.
In the language of Middle Earth, Bilbo Baggins' name is Bilba Labingi.
Well, you know, I would have enjoyed the movie better if he was Bilba Labingi.
Frodo Baggins' name is Mara Labingi, Maura.
I don't like that one as much. I like Bilba Labingi, though.
You'll like this one, though. Samwise Gamgee, his name is Banazir Galpsi.
Why is this happening?
There it is.
We did the Lord of the Rings in Movie Mishaps 1.
Meriadoc Brandybuck.
Mm-hmm.
Calamac Brandagamba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go ahead. You got Peregrine Took left. Dude,
it's just a good example of Tolkien.
You're just curious now.
It's just Tolkien going overboard. Like, that's not necessary.
Peregrine Took was Razunar Took.
Okay. Well,
they called him Razor.
I fucking hated that. Do you remember the 1992 film The Bodyguard featuring Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston?
Yeah. And I will always know you.
Were you aware that a worker on that film died when he was crushed between two lighting cranes during filming? Still made the movie.
I was not aware.
Didn't say anything to anybody about it.
Well, yeah. Two lighting cranes, like they were doing like, so okay.
Why were they moving?
Maybe it was like a sequence where they were just like needed to like have the lighting shift, you know, which happens, you know.
Yeah,
but they weren't paying attention.
They don't usually shift toward one another and crunch a guy in between.
Yeah, crushed by two is specific language. Did they fucking pincer movement, like smush him so like a fucking packet of ketchup, or
crushed.
Were they doing like a crane shot? And
were they crane shot and then like the arm moved?
Crushed between two lighting cranes.
Between two?
Between two.
Maybe they were like swooping together, like the buffalo and the Lion King. You know, and then they just like ran side to side, and he was in the middle.
So the actual bottom unit with the wheels,
right?
Were driving.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe they got dropped off of something. He was on top of one, and one got dropped off of a helicopter
on top of him,
and just. Psh.
God damn, the Patriot Games.
Our hearts go out to the families of these people.
Absolutely. The Patriot Games. Harrison Ford, 92. Remember that one?
Does that Get Off My Plane?
No, that's Air Force One.
I'm just joking.
Stupid.
Patriot Games like, get out of my country.
There is. Fucking hell. Oh my God.
Get out.
Y'all belong here.
What happened to America? It used to be if you wanted to kick people out of your country, you did a Harrison Ford impersonation. Now you sound like a mechanic at a gas station in Valdosta.
So that film features a climactic speedboat fight scene between Sean Bean and Patriot and Harrison Ford.
Patriot Harrison Ford. Foreign dirtbag Sean Bean and Patriot Harrison Ford.
You know, Sean Bean's name always throws me off.
Yeah, because you wanted to be
it
like
would be Sean. It should be Sean Bon or Scene Bean.
I've always called him Scene Bean.
Scene Bean or Sean Bon.
I like Sean Bon, actually.
Sounds like Jovi should be on the end of it, but
Sean Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi's brother.
Yeah, Sean Bean dies in everything he's ever in.
Is that a fact?
That's like I mean, I fucking list them off. You get Game of Thrones, right? Spoiler alert for season 1 of Game of Thrones.
If you haven't watched it yet,
it was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's fair game. It's fair game at this point.
So
Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
GoldenEye.
Huh?
GoldenEye.
Nice. Good catch. Fucking Black Death. That's a good one.
You know what he didn't die in?
The Martian.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he's like one of the directors of NASA.
Does it really count?
I think so. Yeah,
he's in the movie and he dies. That's all. Those are the only requirements.
What's that movie with Christian Bale where he does like the gun kata stuff? Remember what I'm talking about? You ever see that one?
Where he does what?
The gun kata stuff. He's like it's like a future movie, and he's this like proto Neo kind of guy, and they put him in a room with like a bunch of bad guys, turn the lights out, and he does this like kung fu shit. He goes,
you said gung fu for a second.
Gung fu, and he goes. I'm not making those sound effects just for me. That's in the movie. Every time he does a movement, it goes like.
All I'm thinking about is that stupid movie with Angelina Jolie where it was like you can curve the bullets.
Oh, it's Wanted.
I fucking hate that movie.
It's such a bad movie.
At the end, he's like, at the end, he's just like fucking so edgy. At the end, he's like, "Well, fuck you," like directly to the camera. Or something.
I want to know how many idiots went outside and tried swooping their arm while firing a bullet.
Fucking shot their neighbor.
I mean, maybe the physics don't make sense, but fuck it. It's cool.
It's not. It wasn't. There was nothing cool about that movie.
You know what? What interesting fact though? You know what you can do that curve maneuver with?
What?
Bow and arrows.
That makes more sense.
Swoop your arm while you shoot.
If you're like shooting it and you like, it'll throw the fucking arrow and it'll follow that trajectory while you're doing it. You can shoot around shit.
Yeah, I mean you can fast pitch a ball.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're not fast enough to do that with a gun, though. No. That's crazy.
No, a bullet
rip your arm off.
Way faster velocity, but maybe over the course of like the entirety of the, of how far the bullet's going to travel, there might be a slight curvature. But I mean, shut up.
Fuck that movie.
Equilibrium. That's the name of the movie. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, well, back to Patriot Games. Harrison Ford hit Sean Bean with a metal hook in the fucking face and busted his eyebrow open.
Damn.
Yeah.
They dress like this. It was cool. Very Neo. They're wearing like all black, like long dresses.
Yeah, I mean, came out 3 years after The Matrix.
I don't know. I don't know what that
movie.
is.
Elite Equilibrium. It rules.
I have no idea. This is a fun one, though.
Okay.
We've talked about this. Super Mario Brothers. with Bob Hoskins and fucking
John Leguizamo.
Puerto Rican guy. Yeah, John
Puerto
Leguizamo.
Rican guy.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
I know, you don't just fucking disregard John Leguizamo. The man's a legend.
I couldn't remember his
It's a
fucking name, and he's
national
Puerto
treasure.
Rican.
It's a national treasure.
Okay.
Bob Hoskins is British. You remember his name? Traitor.
It's in front of me on the fucking screen.
What's his name in the movie?
Super Mario.
It's Mario.
Mario.
High five.
Yep.
Also, Dennis Hopper was in that as
Yes.
Koopa.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper is my favorite performance
Human Koopa.
ever in that movie. There's a bit where he uses like a de-evolution ray and he turns somebody into a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, turns into a chimpanzee on this construction site, and a bunch of people like start pointing and laugh. and Dennis Hopper goes, monkey.
I remember that scene.
So good.
I remember that scene.
Monkey.
So here's some things that happened on Super Mario Brothers
And
in
he shoots a
1993.
machine gun and he goes, stupid monkeys, at the Marios.
So Bob Hoskins in the movie Super Mario Brothers
Uh-huh.
from 1993 was stabbed 4 times, was electrocuted, and almost drowned. During one scene, he broke a finger when the door of a van slammed on his hand, and he had to wear a cast for the rest of the shoot. Now, I want to know.
I want to know if he reacted to all of those like Eddie Valiant from fucking Roger Rabbit. Just,
No, I think he probably went drunken Brit.
Weren't
Isn't it like a well-known thing that they were like
They were
drunk
all
the whole movie?
Yeah.
Like Hoskins and Leguizamo would just
both wasted.
Well, I was going to
like,
ask if you
just
asked
get
people
shithoused.
to stab him and try to drown him.
so he
Because
could get
was
out of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't want to do the movie.
He just wanted the money. He didn't know what Mario, like Super Mario, was.
That's
before he
right.
did that
His
movie.
child told him.
Yeah.
His child was the one that was like, "Oh my God, you're Mario," and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck is that? What
Plumber fights lizards.
Fucking-
oh,
fucking superhero plumber? What
Puerto
is
Rican
that?
brother. I don't know.
A Puerto Rican brother named Luigi."
Luigi Mario. Yeah, we're both Marios. I'm Luigi Mario. He's Mario Mario. That's an actual like quote for that's a sequence of the movie where John Leguizamo explains that they're brothers. And their last name is Mario.
Jesus Christ.
And he says it just like that. He's like, yeah, I'm Luigi Mario. He's Mario Mario. My last name's Mario. It's.
Now, was that introduced into the Mario lore?
And Bob
because of
Hoskins.
that?
I think that's just in the movie because there was no last name in any of the real like game lore because
Yeah.
it's Japanese and they're not named Mario and Luigi in the game.
Yeah.
They're like
He's like Jumpman.
chubby fun jump man
Right.
and green leg long jump.
Oh my God. And to quote Bob Hoskins, fucking mental. Yeah, I want to know what scene, like when would you even be stabbed 4 times during the
what I'm
filming of
saying.
Super Mario
That's when
Brothers?
you're trying to score a drug behind the set. He's like half wasted. He's trying to get drugs.
Gets shanked and he just stumbles back onto the set.
Fucking Leguizamo did
I guess
it.
electrocution could happen. That's
That's again. It's like a picture of just drunk, and he like walks into an electrical panel.
oh
Just-
fucking hell.
and he just gets shot. He's like,
Stabbing is the really puzzling one.
Stabbed 4 times
Yeah,
is
not
really
like-
like that's
Not like an errant prop like going through your
four,
arm. Like,
I feel like a 4-time stab is like a hey, let go. Because you're just like.
that's what I'm. So when I think 4 times stabbed, I think shivved in the lunch line in prison. Yeah, like that's a, and you're
Forrest rough,
and then
though.
you walk away and hand it off to somebody else in your gang.
Because once is self-defense, twice is temporary insanity. Then 3 times is
A
attempted
lady.
murder. 3 times a lady. So 4 is
If you're
just
stabbing
like,
the right parts.
quit stabbing this guy. That's number 4. Quit stabbing this guy.
So yeah, that's electrocution makes sense. Nearly drowned, I guess.
I don't remember a whole
I
lot
don't
of water
remember
in
a
this
water
movie. Yeah.
scene necessarily, but I mean they are in the sewers because pipes.
You think he's just like passed out drunk, like face down in the water?
So all I can think of is Bob Hoskins nearly drowning, but in my head, all I hear is the Mario do 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 do.
He gets stabbed 4 times, and it's like. Fuck. Another great thing about that movie is the appearance of random like punk country guy Mojo Nixon. You ever listen to Mojo Nixon? You know the song.
Yes.
You know the song "Punk Rock Girl" by the Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, they
like,
Mojo Nixon had a black singer, punk rock band with a black singer.
Mojo Nixon was a person.
Oh, then I'm thinking of a different band. Stuck Mojo is who I'm thinking of.
Mojo Nixon was just a guy.
Oh,
You know, and then that song is like, you don't know Mojo Nixon, then you could use some fixin'.
what?
The Dead Milkmen, Punk Rock Girl.
Yeah.
Just you and me, Punk Rock Girl.
Yeah.
We jumped up on the table, started screaming anarchy. So they do a bit.
I don't
like,
remember the lyrics to that. other than Punk
asked
Rock
for
Girl.
Mojo Nixon. They said we don't. He doesn't work here. And it said, if we don't know Mojo Nixon, then your place could use some fixing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Mojo Nixon's in that movie for no real reason that anyone can discern.
So okay, here it's starting.
It begins.
It's beginning here. 1993's Crime Story, starring Jackie Chan.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The goddamn legend. Jackie Chan's legs were crushed between 2 cars during a dangerous stunt scene, which you can probably watch during the rolling credits at the end
Yeah,
of the
it's
movie.
definitely a pincer movement too.
Yeah.
And I'll bet $1 billion. We did the first episode twice. The first movie mishaps. We did it twice, and the bad take that we had to eliminate was like 4 hours long, and about an hour of that was
It was
just
4 hours
about,
long, spanning 5 decades, and
about an hour of that was Jackie Chan. We talked about him for at length.
Yes, we talked about Jackie Chan a whole bunch, and then at the end of it, it turns out I didn't set up the audio right, so we had 4 hours of unusable audio. And if you're a fan of the show and you've listened to these episodes, you will know that it's not the first or last time that I did that. So, matter of fact, I hope I set it up right today.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Did you turn on the thing? Did you plug it in and turn on the thing? Did you check the audio input?
I did.
Okay.
I did all the
We don't have. We're in Drew's studio right now. The Shack Studios. Mm-hmm. What are we gonna call it? Shed Studios.
It's just the shed for now.
The Shed. We're at the Shed.
Yeah.
Which is
I never thought of a better name.
Contrary to how that's
I like the Shed. I think it's
contrary to how
simple.
that name sounds. It's actually a fucking really well put together fucking studio.
Yeah.
With cool equipment and lighting and shit. But I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know where
Jackie
you were going.
Chan.
Oh yeah.
We don't have the sign.
We had a sign put up at my house where we
Yeah.
record that says plug in the thing, turn on the thing, and then check the audio
Check the audio input.
There's like three rules. And it says rules. And
Yeah. Turn on the thing, check the thing. Make...
as your producer, I should probably be looking over your shoulder for this.
Yeah, probably.
It's kind of on me as well.
what do we pay you for?
But when do we pay you for? But Jackie Chan, famed Hong Kong action star, is probably the most prolific and interesting action star to ever live in the history of the world. Like, this guy fucking has done
fucking incredible.
He's broken every bone in his body. He's an incredible martial artist and just does not fucking stop. He's like 70 now. And he's still bouncing off of shit. But like,
and Tom Cruise can fucking suck it, as far as I'm concerned.
hey, you know what? Tom Cruise does his stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not mad at him. I've actually grown in appreciation of Tom Cruise.
Same, but Jackie walked so Tom could fly off of a mountain on a dirt bike.
I mean, I feel like it's more like Jackie Chan got a giant fucking hole in his skull to make his own movies, and Tom Cruise can eat dicks.
Right. So what I'm actually saying is that Jackie Chan was doing this shit in the 80s and 90s in China with, I would imagine, much fewer safety rules.
None.
And
it's none.
Yeah.
The answer is none.
Yeah. And
that's the whole basis of like fucking tacking the blooper reels onto stuff, is that he hurts himself badly because there is no safety net on anything.
And Tom Cruise is doing it in a much more sterile environment with a lot of safety redundancies, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah, it's like there's that clip of Tom Cruise running in Mission Impossible Fallout, I think, where he like does a really good jump from one building to another, and like he fucks it up and he like breaks his toe or his ankle. I think he breaks his ankle. and then he runs on it anyway. Does that Tom Cruise run? The fucking wide arm.
Yeah.
And that's like been talked about a million times. Like he breaks his ankle there, and he still fucking does the
Yeah.
scene. Like, yeah, okay. When I was
let's
when
watch
I was
this.
10 years
let's
old,
watch this guy from China jump onto a hovercraft and do the same thing, and then continue
exactly.
making an entire movie.
When I was 10 years old, I watched a Chinese guy fucking do that same shit, break his ankle, jumping onto a hovercraft off of a pylon from a bridge, and then put a tennis shoe colored sock over
tennis
his
shoe
cast,
printed sock over
and
his
then
cast.
water ski on that cast. Like, I'm not impressed,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You strap yourself to a plane and then like fly away and you film it. Cool. It looks great.
Yeah.
But I also have seen footage of Jackie Chan jumping from one hot air balloon without a parachute onto the top of another hot air balloon.
Yeah.
And just sliding down that into the basket. Mm-hmm. Because it's
fucking
insane.
madness.
It's insanity.
the fact that he's lived through all of this is unbelievable.
And like, again, Tom Cruise is doing it with the comfort of all these redundancies that are going to ensure almost beyond a doubt that he might break an ankle, but like he's not going to die.
He's got like
He's not going to die.
Didn't they think they dropped him on I think it was Fallout, when the Mission Impossible Fallout, when he's like hanging on the cargo bag thing off of the helicopter, and he falls at one point, and they thought they just straight up dropped Tom Cruise like 1,000 feet into the woods. But,
he's got good insurance.
Yeah. I feel like when you're doing it at a level that Tom Cruise is doing it, really the biggest thing is like mind over matter.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of like a
And when
full
you're-
preparation,
right.
perfect execution thing. Jackie Chan's is like I guess I'll fucking jump.
Yeah. And you're going like, well, if I shank this
Yeah.
one, I'm dead.
Rumble in the Bronx is that shot where he jumps from the parking structure into an apartment building over it's like a 15-foot alleyway or something, and they've got 3 camera angles of it. And they show him doing it like 8 times with the dramatic music. Ah!
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like much, but they shot it like that because it was much.
Yeah.
They were like, we got to get this shit filmed because he might die.
Imagine jumping that far into a window and you just have to make it.
Fucking nuts.
And if you don't, I guess depending on how you fall, you might break something or you might be paralyzed or you might be dead.
Yeah.
Depending on which way your body spins.
The guy's broken every bone in his body.
And yet one of the best outtakes from that movie is the shopping cart bonking him on the head.
That's good. He goes, ooh,
yeah,
and he rubs his head.
stands
Yeah.
up and he's like, oh.
I love Rumble in the Bronx. You seen Rumble in the Bronx, Drew?
I don't think so.
What?
So good. Put that on the list.
Oh, no.
I actually traumatized my child watching that movie when she was like 4 or 5 because I forgot there was a part where they put a guy in a wood chipper. You know, but like otherwise, it's just cool like kung fu action stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
And Jackie Chan movies are usually predominantly pretty safe. And then there's just a shot of like gangsters shoving a man into a wood chipper, and she's like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And
My grandfather, when he was alive, insisted that he actually saw somebody fall into the wood chipper.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true
was
or
it
not.
Steve Buscemi?
No.
By the way,
I don't think so.
in Rumble in the Bronx also, because we shifted to that.
Hey, did we say anything? Oh, we got his legs crushed in the one you were talking about, Crime Story.
Yeah. Between 2 cars. In Rumble in the Bronx, in addition to him breaking his foot and having to wear a cast with a shoe-colored sock over it for the rest of the filming, there were a bunch of stunt doubles that got injured during the motorcycle scene where the bike comes in. Yeah. Bunch of people broke limbs, broke ankles, broke arms. It's fucking a lot of injuries on that one.
Is that the one where they've got like the motorcycles going over like lines of cars? Because that's cool.
Yes.
That movie is
That
balls
movie
out.
is
There's some crazy
straight up
shit
balls
going
out.
on. And what I think is fascinating about it more than anything is that it's called Rumble in the Bronx. Whole fucking thing's shot in China.
Yeah. I love
There's
the
not they like one crane overhead shot, like a helicopter shot of Manhattan at one point at the beginning, and that after that you don't see a landmark. There is nothing about that is fucking.
and I
Bronx.
love the very obviously dubbed American actors in that movie too.
Yeah, like,
it's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because they're all fucking speaking Chinese.
Yeah.
It's-
There's like some like super like Brooklyn looking black guy in the one gang. And
Yeah,
it's like
there's the
it's
one
still dub him.
You got a character in there.
He's speaking English. You can see his lips are saying the thing, but it's clearly a dubbed voice, which is just strange.
I think maybe they just shot it without sound twice so they could dub it for international audiences.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to 1995. We already talked about him once. 1995 Waterworld, Kevin Costner.
Dryland is not a myth. I've seen it.
So there was a scene where Jean Triplehorn, who is the female lead in that, and Tina Majorino, who's the girl with the tattoo on her back, were thrown overboard from the trimaran when the bowsprit snapped. Bowsprit is the, in the front of the boat, the thing that comes out, the long pole that comes out of the front of a boat.
Yeah.
That's a bowsprit.
Okay.
Right. So
Patrick was a sailor for many years.
a sailor. Good man.
The sailor goes to many lands, to any port he pleases, but he always remembers to wash his hands so he don't get no diseases.
Interesting.
Yep.
Thank you.
I did a very brief. I can't hear the words "a sailor" without quoting Christopher Walken in Wedding Crashers. Whenever I think Owen Wilson says that he's a sailor, and Christopher Walken goes, "A sailor, good man," and that's
Pretty good.
That's it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I could do a Christopher Walken. I wonder if I can still do it. I found a phrase that I could use to make me do a Christopher Walken sounding voice. It's from the movie Pennies from Heaven. It was like an 80s musical set during like the Gilded Age with Steve Martin and shit. It's a fucking weirdo movie.
Okay.
But Christopher Walken plays a pimp. He's young and he says, "You're not a tease, are you? 'Cause I'll cut your face."
My go-to to get into Christopher Walken, I don't know why, I don't know where it came from. I think it was my friend Luke actually who did, is Diet Coke. Wow, it's so fizzy. Diet Coke, bring me one, please. That's, I don't know, that always gets me there.
I wish you guys did video so you could see Patrick's face.
We'll get there.
Diet Coke. Is it actually, am I being this very emotive on my face? Am I emoting?
When you're walking, yeah.
Oh, God damn it. So, yeah, they both fell off of the boat and almost drowned. They needed a dozen rescue divers to get them back on the boat.
Jesus Christ.
Kevin Costner nearly died during filming. There was a fucking squall, and he was tied to the mast of the trimaran.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm guessing
He had like cloth in his ears with wax so that he wouldn't be driven to madness by the sirens. Yeah,
yes,
that's classic Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Odyssey, man. Come on,
know that one?
Homer.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So by the way, Odysseus did not put anything in his ears. He had his men tie him to the mast so that he could hear the call of the
I was doing
sirens.
I was doing more of like an homage throwback concept thing,
I gotcha.
that I figured people would get.
Just getting you right on your Greek mythology.
He
dog.
wanted to be driven to madness. He's like, let me see what this shit's all about.
Well, no, it just drives you to jump in the water where they then
Yeah, he's like, why don't you
where
tie
you
me up?
die.
Let me listen
You
though. 'Cause
drown.
I want to see what the fucking
he made all of his
I want to
men.
see what the hullabaloo is about.
He made his men plug their ears.
Yeah, that's like the kind of person who's like, I want to smoke one crack. Just want to see what's going on. A little wet. Get a little wet here.
Just shoot me up a little heroin. Come on. So it's a bunch of seasickness and jellyfish stings. That's not a big deal. But famous surfer Laird Hamilton, famous big wave surfer, was Kevin Costner's stunt double in that movie.
Damn. Kevin Costner, big opinion of himself there, huh?
He was lost. He was lost at sea for several hours.
Oh, shit.
When his jet ski ran out of fuel after presumably one of the jet ski, crazy the pirate guys with all the Dennis Hopper's guys.
Yeah.
He was lost at sea on a jet ski, ran out of fuel, and just floating there for several hours before they found him. Which is got to be fucking weird as shit to just be out in the middle of the ocean. I mean, you're safe, I guess. You're floating. It's not like you have to swim the whole time. But I mean,
it's kind of chilling
Still
there.
wondering, like, am I gonna die of exposure?
how many hours? How many hours do you sit out there before you're like, Jesus fucking, where are they? Have they not noticed I'm
been
going?
a while.
You know how when you're in a situation like that, like you start like just coming up with like the most insane fucking possibilities in your mind.
Recently,
And you're like,
I was talking to
they have to have noticed. What if nobody noticed I'm gone?
I was talking to a very dear old friend of mine from childhood in Michigan about what it was like in the 90s. Because we were just talking to my kid, and I was like, she asked what the 90s was like, and I was like, know what it's like? Go out, like, look at a tree. Just go, wait for me to pick you up from soccer practice for like 2 hours.
Just go outside.
Just go outside. You know what you do? You get a look up and then lay down and look at the sky for a while and be like, that's the sky. And you're gonna wait and you're gonna get up and kick something.
Yeah, you're gonna go outside and you're gonna figure it out once you're out there.
So I feel like Laird Hamilton probably felt like I had left a message on my house phone at a Wendy's. That was just like a collect call that was like, hey, it's Riley, can pick me up. Collect call from, hey, it's Riley, can pick me up. I'm at Wendy's. And wondering if the Wendy's
part, if you could fit it all into
wondering
it,
if the Wendy's part got picked up. And maybe I'm just standing outside of this goddamn Wendy's for 3 hours for no reason.
Oh my God. You know what you just reminded me of?
Standing outside waiting for a ride for a very long time.
Well, you just reminded me that if you could fit your message into the collect call, like where they tell you to say your name, because it would call and say collect call from blank. If you could fit
had a
it all
baby,
in
it's a boy.
Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy.
What is that from?
It was an old Geico commercial.
Yeah, it was like a fucking.
Yeah.
It was just an old commercial.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy.
First name Bob. Last name, we had a baby, it's a boy. But it'd be like, hey, Mom, Wendy's can pick me up, and he's stand there until it's like kind of dark and it's winter. That's what Laird
when you're gonna resign yourself to just walk home.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
it's
you
like 8
go
miles.
outside and you sort of mill about until something makes you go, I guess I'll.
Which is like, that's what Laird Hamilton was doing. He's
You
kind of
go,
like,
well, the worst part is you go and you're like, basketball. I guess I'll just. And then you grab the basketball and it's flat and you're like,
fuck.
I guess I'm just gonna play the
not do that.
basketball.
You guys are giving me so many flashbacks.
Yeah.
I get out of school. I'm just waiting outside of school, and I just like, I guess I'll just sit here, climb this tree.
I remember stacking sticks in my backyard to see how tall I could get a tower of sticks.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Because my bike was fucked up and the basketball was deflated, and I was just like, I don't know. And we had woods right behind our house, so I just went in and collected a bunch of sticks off the ground like an old medieval fucking peasant. I just collected a big stack of sticks and carried it back to my yard. And just made like a little square, and then did another square on top, and just kept up, and to see how tall I could get a fucking stack of sticks from the woods. What I spent. I don't know how many hours doing.
I pictured Laird Hamilton not having a cell phone, and
there's no way.
having to just kick the water, maybe jump in for a second and get out and.
In 1995,
but also now
he would. By the way, in 1995, Laird Hamilton probably did have a cell phone.
Yeah, right, because he's a millionaire
in a place that's not on a jet ski in the water.
That's the other thing. But
now you have a cell phone in the jet ski in the water.
Even if he had one, he's in the middle of the ocean. There's no signal, so I just pictured him looking at his phone, and be like, no signal.
Yeah. No, in 1995, 4 other people with cell phones, so you don't you don't take it everywhere.
I know
with
more
you.
people with car phones.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Waterworld. There was also in 1996. I just have to do this in as a side note. 1996 Mountain Dew commercial. Mm-hmm.
Extreme.
A guy named Rob Harris was filming a skydiving stunt, and his parachute malfunctioned, and he fell 5,000 feet to his death in British Columbia.
Jesus Christ!
And I really want to know.
If he shouted extreme the whole way down.
Oh God! It's too bad that wasn't being filmed in Mexico, because I would love to just envision him yelling that he's having a Baja Blast.
Oh God! Do they do?
I know. I really want to know what commercial that was. 1996 Mountain Dew commercial.
Well, it probably didn't get greenlit for a second pass.
You don't think they went ahead and did it? Oh, I guess, yeah, if the parachute never opened, they just have footage of a guy falling to his death.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if they had the right shots and put the right music behind it, cool.
This guy's falling out of the sky like you will if you drink Mountain Dew.
Code Red Extreme.
Also, apparently, there was a Black & Decker commercial from 96 where veteran pilot Michael Tamburo died after suffering a broken neck and head injuries in a helicopter crash caused by hitting a main rotor blade on a rock on the side of a desert butte.
Jesus.
What is Black & Decker advertising?
The fact that they could make a plane that flies with Black & Decker tools. Helicopter that flies with Black & Decker tools, probably.
I don't know, but the co-pilot suffered a broken arm. Also, the producers hadn't obtained a permit to use a helicopter for the filming.
If they used DeWalt, it probably would have worked.
What's that?
If they used DeWalt, it probably would have been okay.
Man, fuck you and fuck DeWalt.
I only have Milwaukee tools. You know that.
I know. And you know that I also am a Milwaukee guy, and DeWalt can suck it.
I think DeWalt creates a better tool, but Milwaukee looks a lot better, and I buy them.
I don't think DeWalt creates a better tool.
I do.
I don't think they're better at all. I've watched so many DeWalt tools crap out.
Really?
So many. I've had so many Milwaukee tools crap out.
Yeah,
So.
tools do that. Nature of the beast.
How about, you know what's really strange and ironic? The 1997 film Gone Fishing, I shit you not, is on this list.
With Joe Pesci and Danny Glover?
Yeah. Janet Wilder was killed, and 4 other people, including her husband, were injured when a speedboat driver misjudged a ramp and the speedboat landed in a crowd.
Oh, speedboat driver Joe Pesci.
In that movie, 5 people were killed from a speedboat making a jump and landing in a crowd of people.
Wow.
Yeah. Who's Janet Wilder? Why did they name her? Is that an actress?
I don't know. We'll look it up.
She related to Gene Wilder?
It was Gene Wilder.
In a dress and a wig? Hey, he doesn't need a wig. Well, you look that up. We've skipped a bunch, by the way. I skipped Con Air. I skipped Scream.
Do Con Air and Scream.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah? Okay, fine. Scream. So, during a scene, Skeet Ulrich was... Who's Skeet Ulrich? This guy
Janet Wilder was a stunt woman, and Skeet Ulrich is a goddamn legend. He played Billy Loomis in Scream.
In Scream, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see his face now. I know him.
His name's
I didn't realize his name is
Skeet.
Skeet.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that didn't age well.
No, it sure didn't.
When is
Your name is Cum.
When's Scream? 1995.
Cum Ulrich.
Scream's 95.
I think it was 96.
Yeah, 96.
96.
Yeah.
In 96, if your name was Skeet, it was probably like cool.
What's the new? What's the new like child? Not child, but young person vernacular for semen. It's not cum, is it? Nut.
I think
Is it
Nut is
Nut
pretty popular.
Ulrich.
Nut. I feel like that poor Skeet's name has been
Poor Skeet.
You know what's frustrating is that like he was already famous.
I prefer Rich Skeet.
He was famous when Skeet became slang for cum. So
Oh yeah.
so
sure.
it's not like he could just change his fucking name.
Is Skeet moving out of the vernacular, though?
Skeet, motherfucker. That
Yeah,
was like
that-
early
Can
2000s.
you?
That's a
I
while ago
imagine.
now.
I imagine Skeet Ulrich like being like at a Starbucks at like 9 a.m. or something, being like, "Yep, we got a great audition today. This is gonna be good. I'm gonna get my own action franchise, you know." And the success of the Screams. He's like walking out and he just hears from a car passing by, like, "Oh, Skeet, motherfucker!"
Oh,
And
I
he's
was
like, "The fuck is that?"
I was thinking, and then the barista's like, Pete.
He's like, "Skeet,
Skeet.
actually."
My name's Skeet. I'm like, really?
But he just hears
Gross.
hears the song, "Oh, Skeet." But he's like, "All right, yeah, they got the name right."
Songs about me.
So then he keeps hearing it, and eventually he's like, "Oh God, my career's over."
So
You really didn't see him in much until he came back. To
You didn't
Scream.
see him in much.
That was a slip.
I wish
Not
you
on
did that on
Freudian
purpose.
slip. Yeah, now he's back in Scream. He was in that like Archie show, like Archie and Jughead.
Oh,
He was
I don't know
Jughead's
what's
dad.
Wasn't
Was
that
he
terrible?
really?
Yeah,
Weird. Gross.
Riverdale.
Skeet Jughead.
So in a scene in 1996's Scream, Skeet Ulrich was accidentally stabbed by Nev Campbell's stunt woman with the tip of an umbrella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Stabbing him in a place where he had previously had open heart surgery as a child.
Damn, I know that exact scene. That's when Sydney charges out of the closet.
Yeah,
with the fucking just pow, and like really fucking nails him too.
Yeah, so
And
he
again,
was
I think-
wearing a protective vest to protect himself from the umbrella stabs in that fight scene. But the stunt woman missed her mark on the second stab, and they used that take, meaning his reaction to that is like
Sick.
him actually in severe pain.
He's like, cut me too deep, man.
I'm fucking dying over here.
Fucking dying here.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. So
Matthew Lillard coming back, by the way.
yeah, his performance in that Unhinged or
Matt Lillard
Genius.
in Scream?
Yeah.
Genius. Everything.
I fucking love it.
everything Matthew
I've heard
Lillard
both.
has done on screen is fucking good. He was even in that awful.
What about Shaggy?
He's fucking awesome
Whoa,
in Shaggy.
Scoop.
He's
He's
so
a great
good.
Shaggy.
Does he do
He
this
still
movie
does.
wasn't
He
good.
still
Right.
does the voice for Shaggy for
Yeah.
like cartoons and shit. But like that was to him like a career killer. Like they got him locked in as Shaggy, and he never did anything after that. But he had like such momentum. He did SLC Punk and the Screams, 13
SLC
Ghosts.
Punk was good, yeah.
He was like this great like alternative
He's in,
character.
He's in something recently.
Hackers. Oh yeah, he was in Twin Peaks: The Return.
No, it's something my wife and I were watching.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy.
You know
No.
who
You
Matthew
watch
That's
that?
a bad movie.
You know who Matthew Lillard reminds me of?
Yellow Jackets. He's in Yellow Jackets.
Is
isn't
he?
I believe so. Isn't he?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Don't listen to me.
You know who, like, both in the movies that he did and the career just being short-lived, although this person I'm about to compare him to was way more short-lived. But you know who he kind of reminds me of? Same time frame, same everything?
Huh.
Devin Sawa.
Devin Sawa, yeah. Devin Sawa is still like kind of around as an adult actor.
He seems like he would be fat now.
No,
Is he
he's
fat now?
actually kind of devilishly handsome. He looks like really rugged and
Is
like
he really?
muscular. Yeah, he was in a movie called Black Friday with Bruce Campbell.
Interesting.
This past holiday season.
Huh.
Yeah, Devin Sawa also in SLC Punk.
Yeah.
Fucking Idle Hands.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Yeah, and then he just
Yeah.
disappeared.
Maybe that's why those two in my mind are sort of correlated
Yeah.
with one another.
Yeah, he's still around somewhere.
Cool. I mean,
But
good.
he's like an adult. He's like
not dead.
But now he's like a rugged. He did the who's that guy? Farmer Ted from 16 Candles. You know what I'm talking about? He was the Winona Ryder's boyfriend in Edward Scissorhands. From the Brat Pack, fucking nerd boy.
Michael Anthony.
Michael Anthony Hall.
Yeah.
Which is I sometimes give people directions, and I'll be like, yeah, just make a right up there at the Anthony Michael Hall, and but I do it's just to make them go away if people ask me directions because I'm a dick like that. But Michael Anthony Hall also did the like got older and like ruggedly handsome for some reason.
Yeah, but he did a bunch of drugs. He looks
Now
a
he
little
looks
rough.
weird. He looks weird
Yeah,
now,
he
but for a
looks-
while when he was doing like the Dead Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
before
was,
he started getting real. Like,
Yeah, he and Devin Sawa have that sort of thing.
Cooped
I
out.
wanted to do a podcast about movies. That was my original idea. I could do this all day. Want to have the Devin
I know
Sawa
these. I
conversation?
know
Let's
these
go
are
down the fucking
when-
pipe.
I knew you were going to be excited whenever I texted you this morning and said, "By the way, we're doing movie mishaps too."
I was immediately like, oh, we don't need to do any research. I got this one in the pocket.
We've been playing, by the way, if you're listening, we've been playing catch up because we got a little behind the eight ball with this. I'm literally from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's was just so fucking busy that we normally have like an extra podcast like in the bank, and we were down to what the episode that released today. We recorded 3 days ago.
Yeah, that was a quick one.
Friday.
Quick turnaround.
Friday, was it Friday?
I think it was Thursday.
Thursday.
I worked out
Thursday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Pretty quick. I still haven't done the Instagram for that one.
Great.
I've got the pictures. I was doing it right here.
You
sitting
had
here.
one job, guy.
I mean, I also had to be on the podcast too.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
No, your
Starship Troopers.
your part is I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't fucking do this. Have you seen Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave?
No.
It's on Netflix. You got to watch that. You're going to love it.
You should have probably at least seen that clip. It's got all the like Starship Troopers like geared up, and they're like, "I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part." And then it cuts to Tim Robinson. He's like, "I didn't do fucking shit."
After
And that's
we,
like a popular.
after we
fucking
wrap,
thing
I'm
right
going to play you the coffin flop sketch from I Think You Should Leave, and it'll make sense.
It's a ridiculous show, but okay. Con Air. You wanted to know that one?
Hell yeah.
For a change, this one's got a death in it. However, unlike most of these movies that we're going to talk about and have talked about, this one during the credits actually did an in memoriam.
In memoriam, John Malkovich.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure because
I
Con
think
Air came out like almost 30 years ago.
Do you know how in the Coen Brothers Fargo, it starts out? This is based on a true story. Just the names have been changed. Names and dates have been changed to save the survivors.
Yeah.
And that's a lie. That's not true at all.
Okay.
They just tack that on for fun.
Okay.
Just to be like, I would think it would be good to make a movie like Con Air, and then at the end do like a little in memoriam of like one of the major stars in the movie. It's like John Malkovich.
Well, so in August of '96, when they were filming Con Air, a welder employed by Special Effects Unlimited, an LA-based firm, a gentleman by the name of Phil Schwartz, was crushed to death when a static model of the C-123 that they used for the film fell on him.
The airplane?
The airplane
Jesus Christ.
fell on him.
Well, static model. So that's like, if you're going to do a static model for like a film, it's not going to be a full size. So it's probably like maybe...
It probably was full size because that's all everything that they're filming interior.
Oh, they're doing the interior.
You want it to be, you want it to be to scale.
Why would it be elevated though? If they were like, why would it be? Know. If they were doing the interior, it has to be like an exterior shot model. It was probably about the size of a car.
Either way,
like those things are like they make big because you.
Yeah, that's true. They might have had a miniature
doing miniatures for movies. They're big as fuck.
Absolutely.
So, but like,
because you still have to get details.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's too small, you can't get like details.
Although if it's too small, it looks like a Lego.
Yeah, exactly.
When did Con Air come out?
97.
Good year for movies.
So maybe maybe they had it suspended like less to paint out because CGI wasn't like.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Super widely.
It's got to be big so that they can get those little fucking paint the shit on it and the little numbers.
Well, but like I said, to their credit, the film credits end with in memoriam of Phil Schwartz. So,
that's good. That's
at least
something.
Yeah, at least
Better
unlike most of these movies,
like
it wasn't
Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus.
One of Zazie Beetz' stunt women died in an accident on Deadpool 2, and no one ever mentioned it.
The motorcycle where she slides out on the motorcycle. Anyway, it goes into she went through like a plate glass window. The stunt double did. Fucking died. And we were talking about in the last episode, like,
did I say Janet Wilder was a stunt woman? I already said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Riley and I were talking about it. We were like, how crazy must it be? You've got this person that looks similar to you, that you work probably on several movies with. You look at Kurt Russell and Dick Warlock. They worked on a whole bunch of movies.
Yeah, a lot of them bring their stunt doubles with them.
And this person fucking dies. And I guarantee you the first thing that the studio's doing is like, nobody says shit. Nobody says anything. So that was one of the things. We finally arrived at 1997's Titanic.
One of the best movies ever made.
Well, we
think so?
We know this story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was fucking lame, but
Billy Zane.
We know this story. I don't know that Drew knows this story.
They went full method for that car sex scene.
They fucked.
They fucked. That's their sweat, dog.
A much older Kate Winslet and a much younger fucking whatever Jack's name was. I can't
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, there it is. I could think of it if I just didn't give up. I got enough things going on.
I just didn't give up.
I just give up. So in addition to several extras being injured during the sinking scene where the passengers are all falling off and stuff like that, a lot of them fell off the ship and hit parts of the ship and got fucked up real bad.
James Cameron. It's not dangerous. It's not cool.
Right.
That fucking ding when whoever falls off.
It hits the rotor, like the fucking
like
the
core
big
memory burned into my fucking
it hits
brain.
what the fuck is that called? The propeller.
Yeah.
They hit that propeller. Boom.
Well, I mean, literally, like
Dude, there was a sound designer when they did that and they put that in there. They sat back and they were like, "That's it.
That's the sound it would make."
My fucking career,
My magnum
is
opus.
made."
That's the sound
and-
someone's skull would make
and I
falling
think-
30 feet
I
and
gotta
hitting a
say-
metal prop.
I think authentically, legitimately, if you were the person who did that sound design and you were trying to get a job at another studio and you walked in and they were like, "Yeah, here's my reel," and it was just that, they'd go like, "You're in. That's it. Fuck yeah."
That's like
Fine,
up there with the
hired.
Wilhelm scream for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Holding a boombox like Judd Nelson, and it's just. By the way, some of the injuries that they have listed from that part is broken ankles, crushed ribs, fractured cheekbone, and ruptured spleen.
Hell yeah.
So, Kate Winslet also suffered hypothermia during the water scenes. She refused to wear a wetsuit under her dress, so
It would look stupid.
She got hypothermia a bunch, I
She's
guess.
a method actress.
There's
She
also
is a fucking method actress too. Have you guys seen?
yeah, she
like, some of her
does
shit?
she does take her shit very seriously.
She does a sex scene with
Leonardo DiCaprio.
no
in a
what are
car
who's the
in a
girl
boat.
who's the girl from Mean Girls?
It's
that
like
was
a
you know what I talked about?
it's like
Which one?
She's from The Notebook. The girl from the movie The Notebook or Mean Girls. Not Lindsay Lohan, the Mean Girl. Again, I'll look it up.
I
But
don't know, but I just made up a Titanic turducken. I said Jack and Rose fucking in a car in a boat
Yeah.
wow, in the ocean.
in the ocean.
On the
No,
earth.
yeah, Kate Winslet does a sex scene with this actress, and it's the most like the dirtiest, most involved shit you've ever seen. They like spit in each other's mouths and
Yeah?
shit. Like fucking Kate Winslet goes hard. She's method.
Nice.
She's like, I actually became gay for this movie.
So there's also the scene where the water is like rushing onto the ship, and Jack and Rose are like running down the hallways as the ocean's pouring in. Kate Winslet's coat snagged on a gate and pulled her down, like she tripped and fell down in the water and couldn't get unsnagged and nearly fucking drowned.
Hell yeah.
And then this is the real one that I feel like everybody should know because everybody's seen the fucking movie Titanic. On the final night of shooting in Nova Scotia, 80 cast and crew members were hospitalized
Oh yeah, this is my favorite.
after the clam chowder at the catering area was spiked with PCP.
I did hear about this.
Yeah.
80 cast and crew hospitalized because somebody put fucking PCP in the clam chowder on wrap day.
Yeah.
Like,
How about
what the fuck?
how about this?
Why are you gonna spike something with PCP?
Actor
Please, I just need to. You know what? You talk because I need to see something real quick.
actor Bill Paxton, right?
Oh God, this story is
who
hilarious.
played who played like the end caps of
He
the
had the
movie.
PCP.
No, he ate the chowder though, and after that, he felt a little like, a little up, And James Cameron came to him and he's like, "Bill, there's something going on with the chowder. It seems to have been spiked with drugs, so we shouldn't." And he's like, "Okay, I feel okay." So he went out to a bar, had a couple of beers, and according to him, went back to the hotel, drank a case of beer to himself, and then went to sleep. And woke up the next day feeling no adverse effects.
and
He's like, "I don't know. This is just an average Wednesday in Texas. I don't know."
And a bunch of missed calls at the concierge for people in the hospital going, "Are you okay? Are you dead? Oh
Bill's
my
fucking
God."
dead.
He's like, "No, he's just shit-faced in his hotel room, pacing back and forth."
God, Bill Paxton and Bill Pullman. I always get their faces are so similar and their names are so similar. I always get them confused.
Are they both dead? Is Pullman dead? No, Paxton's
Pullman,
dead.
no, Pullman's still alive. Paxton's dead. They are both.
Bill Paxton's dead?
Yeah, Bill Paxton died a few years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They're only in one movie together. It's a movie from the '80s called Brain Dead, which is a fucking cool flick. It's like weird schlocky horror.
I feel like I know that one. By the way, I just looked this up because I was like, God, please tell me they figured out who did it. No one knows who spiked the chowder.
It was Cameron, you know it.
Some claim it was the action of a disgruntled crew member or caterer. Others maintain it was a prank carried out in bad taste. I don't know. I've grown up doing some fucked up pranks with my friends. Spiking PCP into clam chowder has never even crossed my mind.
No, laxative. Laxative, maybe.
That's a big one. Yeah, I've never even done laxative. I mean, it's just
Even
kind
that
of
can
like
kill somebody in the wrong
well,
circumstance.
I mean, it's not even that funny. It's really not that funny if you think about it. Oh, I got you to eat something that looks delicious and tasted delicious, and now you're shitting your brains out. I like it.
Like in the context of a movie, sure, but in reality, no,
right,
it's not that funny.
right. Unless I'm kicking open the bathroom door while you're spraying ass, then maybe it's funny and filming you, you know. But this is a quote from James Cameron. We had fired a crew member the day before because they were creating trouble with the caterers. So. Apparently, the day before, somebody on the crew got fired because they were fucking with the caterers. So, was it the crew member on his way out? Was it the caterers? Where was the PCP already on this person? If it's the guy who got fired and he's on his way out, I mean, you know, you get fired, you leave right now. It's good time to go.
Away with you.
So, did you already have
The clam chowder like on hand?
Well, I mean, I'm guessing the clam chowder, craft services usually has like a trailer, you know, refrigerated trailer or whatever. Did he have a bunch of PCP on him? And he goes, I got you, fuckers.
I totally fucked it up. It's actually not. It's not Kate Winslet that has that dirty sex scene. It's Rachel Weisz from The Mummy.
Oh my God, are you serious?
And Rachel McAdams.
Oh boy,
They have the raunchiest.
What movie is this?
It is
Patrick's
called.
taking notes.
I had the biggest crush on Rachel Weisz when The Mummy came out. She was absolutely beautiful.
It's called, I believe, Disobedience. Yes, Rachel McAdams.
And by the way, in the
Rachel
British
Weisz.
accent, really does it. A pretty girl with a British accent does something to me.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of us.
Yeah,
It takes a lot for me to like see a sex scene in a movie and be like, God damn. That one is particularly
Yeah.
that and the end sequence of Nosferatu, which we watched last night. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
did Magdalena go see it with you?
No.
No, it was
Who-
just us.
She
Oh,
saw
was
it
you
before.
guys?
It was- Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
we were holding hands.
yeah,
Oh.
it was pretty intense.
Thanks for the invite, dicks.
What?
I went last minute, so that's on
you
Riley.
live an hour away. You want to come see us a fucking vampire movie?
You could come up to
Don't touch me.
Tinseltown.
I'm not to be touched.
You could come up to Tinseltown,
Don't
where the
touch me, I'm not to be
where
touched.
the seats are big and move.
Great quote from Nosferatu, which is a dope ass movie, by the way. I really enjoyed that flick.
Yeah,
It was good.
I probably would have enjoyed it too.
Jesus Christ. But great quote. Daddy, there's a monster under the bed. Stab him.
And don't touch me, I'm not to be touched.
Don't touch me. I'm not to be touched.
Jesus Christ.
Then
All
there's
right.
another.
I had no idea that was what's his tits.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
Yeah.
That's a crazy performance.
Because I didn't know shit about the movie. I mean, I know Nosferatu.
He's
but-
fucking gigantic in that movie. It's crazy. See how big Nosferatu was? Bill Skarsgård's a big dude. They're all fucking big
Yeah.
Nordic fucks. But like, god damn, he's big. He's rrr. Big, great quote from Nosferatu last night. Actually, is "Hey, I'm fucking Nosferatu over here. Hey, give me your fucking blood.
Get out of my fucking castle. Give me your blood. You know why you're here. You know why I'm here. Give it up.
Fucking bringing the plague rats over here."
Pull out your fucking neck. I'm coming for it. I'm Nosferatu. Fucking Vinny Nosferatu.
Vinny
Is that what-
Nosferatu from Back in the Neighborhood,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm Vinny Nosferatu. What's happening? A couple of guys got fucked. This is another one that makes no sense. Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh yeah.
There was a stunt scene. A car rolled over on two crew members. One needed a whole leg amputation.
Blues Brothers traditionally are car accident movies.
Yeah, it's true. 3 months later, during filming for another car crash sequence, stuntman Bob Miner suffered severe injuries to his head. That does it for the most part for the 90s.
Hold on
in
a second.
terms of big ones.
We didn't 1999. We didn't get any the fucking Matrix or Fight Club, nothing like that. No fucking.
Nothing notable.
Because 99 is to me notably like the best.
A lot of
movie
big-
year
a
for
lot of big
movies.
shit
movies.
that happened on the well, I know in Fight Club, I forget who punches who first.
Ed Norton punches Brad Pitt in the ear.
He wasn't expecting him to actually hit him, which
really
he did.
fucking nails him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are
They've really
little
they beat the
shit
shit
like
out
that.
of each other.
Yeah, there's little shit like that, but I mean, there's nothing major.
It's just like 1999 is just one of the best years in movies.
I think
ever.
there was something else that happened in. Is that the first? No, that's not the first. Lord of the Rings was 2000 or
Those
01?
were past the turn of the century.
2000,
I think they
2001,
were
2002.
01, 02, 03. Or maybe 02, I don't know. But it was after, it would not have been in this
think
decade.
you're right. I think 2000 was the first one. I think it
Something
was
like that.
2001, 02? Or it might have been. No, it couldn't have been. It was 0, 1, and 2. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna produce over here and look it up.
Okay, hell yeah. Do we want to go into the 80s or, we can just...
01, baby.
Was it 01?
Yep.
Wow, 01, 02, 03?
Yep.
I went to midnight showing of all 3 of those.
Me too.
On Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a big fucking nerd.
You know what's... You want to talk about... This will fucking stick with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
During the third Lord of the Rings, by this point,
Lord of the Rings 3D.
We by the third movie, Return of the King, we had it started off with probably I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 of us. Next year it was 12 of us. By the final movie, there were 20 of us that all went to what's the movie theater right there by the Avenues Mall in Jacksonville, Regal.
Oh yeah, Regal.
Yeah, Regal
the
yeah, which is now decrepit. I think I don't think it's even in operation anymore.
They're shutting down all the theaters in Jacksonville. Movie theaters are not a fucking thriving business.
Tinseltown's killing it.
Yeah, Tinseltown, because it's the last fucking one they got there, dude. They shut down Sunray, the only independent theater. Yeah, they shut down Sunray. It was the only independent theater in Jacksonville fucking 6 months ago.
Huh. Damn. Didn't they have a drive-through or drive-in?
Yeah, for the pandemic and shit.
I feel like there was one that was operating the whole time, and then the pandemic happened, and they were like, "Fuck yeah!"
I don't know. I know there's one in Lakeland, but I don't know what Jacksonville.
I know a lot of places converted during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even the one here. Yeah. I went and saw.
Speaking of which, the one here has been converted very well. The theater's popping right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
Did they do all the big?
I was surprised to go in and see a bunch of people.
Did they do all the big recliner seats?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Tinseltown did that
we
too.
saw Nosferatu in the front row. Which anybody who goes to fucking movies knows that the front row sucks. So you don't want to sit
It's
the
a
first
lot.
fucking.
Yeah.
I would.
They give you a bed. It's like a lay down. It's a fucking
It's a
elevated
lounge chair.
feet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's not a lounge chair. It's like a.
It's
fucking-
wide. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
those seats are wide.
It's wide and long, and your feet are elevated. You don't have the option to put them down.
I
and
say
you
it's
just,
wide. It's built for the average
It's a
American.
goddamn bed.
The hospital people get offended all the time because all of our wheelchairs are big now.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't need this big one. I'm like, that's all I have.
You get the fat fuck wheelchair and
Just like
shut
everybody
up.
else.
Yeah.
And you smack them.
Yeah. Walk around the nearest public place and look at what the average person looks like and understand why these are the only wheelchairs.
Oh,
we
you don't
have.
want the wheelchair? Okay, you can walk then.
Yeah. How about I fucking kick your ass all the way down the
Skinny
hall, fucker?
bitch.
Maybe if you fattened up a little bit, you wouldn't be in here.
This is cathartic for me. Thank you.
I used to work in a hospital a long time ago.
On a boat. He built.
No, I didn't do that. I worked on a boat in a different timeline.
Just creating
Different part of my life.
Just creating a different legend for him. He's a carpenter, built a boat and a hospital on it.
Hospital boat.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
was EMT firefighter and
They caught on fire, and he saved everyone himself.
and bartender. I mean, making
One time, I was working with Pat, and
I was putting out the fire with cocktails.
I cut the fuck out of myself. I had a gas station pocket knife that opened in my pocket, and I was shoveling. It sliced my elbow real good, to the bone. And Pat just fucking patched me up real quick. He's like, "Yeah, this is nothing. Whatever. Butterfly stick, whatever."
Keep a first aid kit on me. Now it's in the trailer. Now it's hanging up on the back wall of the trailer.
You can actually an EMT?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my certifications are all gone now, but yeah, EMT firefighter.
Well, I was a paramedic before I was a nurse.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys gonna suck each other's dicks? I didn't do
Yeah.
anything. I haven't helped anyone with anything. Okay.
Whenever we break, that's what we're doing.
You know what's funny? I don't want to go into the 80s. We'll leave it for the next time. But I just scrolled up to the 80s. And do you know what movie is prominent? Well, there are a few of them. One of them, Pink Floyd, The Wall. But just above that,
Twilight Zone.
1982's Fitzcarraldo.
Fitzcarraldo. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Werner Herzog.
Where a Peruvian logger had to amputate his own foot after being bitten by a venomous snake.
We talked about that on the
Boring Man,
Crazy Life.
Boring Man, Crazy Life.
The Herzog segment.
Pretty badass.
Yeah.
Amputated his own leg.
Fun little segue to what we were just talking about. Herzog did a version of Nosferatu in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good.
The last Nosferatu before this Nosferatu.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know where are we at?
Oh! I was going to tell you the forever etched in him. So we had like I said, by the Return of the King, it was probably 20 of us going to midnight showing, packed theater, because by that point, like, everybody was like, oh, fuck yeah, Lord of the Rings. First two had come out, first movie was like a smattering of people in there. Second one, a little bit busier. Third one, packed fucking theater. We couldn't even all sit together. So I remember it was me, my girlfriend at the time, and two of our friends, right? And I was end cap of that group, but we were in the middle of like a row. We just found, like, everybody had to like go where they could find seats. Like, we even had some friends sitting by themselves. But next to me was probably severely autistic, not severely autistic, functioning autistic adult man, right? We've all come into contact with these people, the guys who want to talk to you a lot, and you can tell they're kind of awkward and whatever, but they're sweet otherwise. But this guy's sitting next to me, and throughout the movie, in addition to watching this epic final Lord of the Rings movie, this guy is reacting to everything. And like, there's the scene where Sam is talking about like missing the Shire, and he's talking about he's like, oh, fresh strawberries and blah, blah, blah. You know what scene I'm talking about? Uh-huh. And this guy's next to me, and he's like, and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And like this scene where like both armies are coming together, and then there's like the big clash in the middle, and he's sitting next to me, like punches his own head. He's, oh, and I'm like, I am sitting next to a fucking maniac watching this movie, and it's just forever. But like those two things in particular, but throughout the movie, it was just
start hearing him masturbating, and you turn and it's just Paul Rubens.
Long greasy
so
hair.
He's
and a
back.
beater.
This is how he got arrested the first time.
The only other.
No, Pee-wee, no.
Turns out he wasn't even he was just watching like a movie. It's like a regular movie jerking it.
The only other thing that ever compares to that, and you and I were already doing the podcast when this happened, and I may have told you this story. I don't remember. Allison and I went to that viewing of The Princess Bride,
right?
With a Q&A
with Carrie Ellis.
Carrie Ellis after the movie at the Florida Theater. They did this. Huh. So you sit, they film the whole, so you're sitting, film it like you're in a theater, packed out, and then afterward there was a host comes out, they put a couple armchairs out, and everybody like coming into the lobby, there were like little sheets of paper you could like write, questions for Carrie Ellis. She had some questions, then she did probably about, I don't know, 8 to 10, people in the audience questions. Very cool, by the way. Fucking awesome. And I think it costs like, I don't know, maybe fucking $25-$30 a piece for us to go do this.
Yeah, I really wish I'd gone to that. Yeah. Princess Bride is like my favorite movie.
Yeah, Riley was very fucking jealous.
I know everything's my favorite everything, but like that one is like, that is high tier, like possibly number one. It's like a battle between that and Braveheart. Actually.
The only other like super cool thing that I did movie wise that made Riley really jealous was the 30-year anniversary of Ninja Scroll.
Yeah, fuck
at
you.
Tinseltown, with like a fucking interview with the director at the beginning. This is like the whole beginning was like a 20-minute interview with the director talking about making the movie. But anyway, we went to the Princess Bride, right? And sitting next to Allison, so she was the third seat in from the row, I was the fourth seat, so she's got two girls sitting next to her. The whole fucking movie, I shit you not, the whole movie, the girl sitting right next to Allison was quoting every single line with the movie.
Wow, a Ninja Scroll.
No.
Princess Bride. Okay.
Bride.
I was like fucking Ninja Scroll.
I could probably quote most of Ninja Scroll.
I could deal with the excited guy.
Yeah, no. This was
that sounds way worse.
was like super awkward, like former theater girl, kind of dumpy, her and her friend, and this girl was quoting every single fucking line through the whole
Should have invited him back to the house.
It's like going to a concert and somebody's just screaming every word in your ear.
Yeah, it's like, shut the fuck up. I'm
off key.
I want to hear them.
Off key the whole time. Yeah.
I want to hear them.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to hear your interpretation of these words. I want to hear Wallace Shawn's interpretation of these words.
Exactly. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It was so, and like poor Allison, I was like, I'll switch places with you, like, and she's like, no, it's fine, that's gonna be awkward. And I was like, and then there was an empty seat next to me, and like the lady finally came, like probably 10, 15 minutes into the movie, she finally showed up. But I was like, why don't you just scoot over and come to this seat that's empty right next to me? And she's like, no, that's going to be weird. And I'm like, she should know that it's weird. She should know that it's weird without you having to do that. And by the way, doing that, maybe she'll think in her mind, oh, I'm being weird and annoying and quoting every fucking line to a movie that's playing right in front of us. I could just sit here and watch it.
You know what you could have done is leaned over and been like, hey, shut the fuck up. Real loud so that everyone in the theater knows.
Yeah, we've all seen the movie a whole bunch of times. That's why we're all here to watch Carrie Ellis talk about it afterward.
It's like when I'm at the store with my kid, you know, if she's being annoying or disobedient or whatever, I just start talking super loud so that everybody knows that I'm yelling at my kid in the store. I'll just be like, do you want me to get loud so that everybody looks at us? And she's like, oh, fuck, God, no, don't.
I just, that one, God, that one fucking killed me, dude. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But, you know, I guess some people need attention.
That's what Bob Hoskins was doing to get stabbed 4 times.
Quoting the Princess Bride line for line.
He was just in a movie. He went to go see Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he just kept fucking saying his lines. Somebody was bloop, 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 bloop.
Like I said, we're not going to jump into the 80s in this episode. Maybe we'll do a part 3 with the 80s because the 80s has a lot. And so does the 70s. It's almost like...
You guys could just keep it going.
It's almost like the more decades you go back, the looser the safety concerns were.
Yeah,
and,
you know, with movies...
The more directors just said, fuck it.
We got to figure, you know, the first movies, they had none, like no safety protocols. They're just like, fuck it, do it.
Right.
Like Buster Keaton just getting hit by trains and shit. And it's like, I'm fine. I broke my pelvis. I'll be okay. Yeah.
I'll probably live.
Like fucking vomiting shards of his fucking
Jesus.
liver. Just claw. He's like, that's great. I got to run down a mountain next. That's in here, like, that's 30s.
Can I have 5? Can I have 5 before I run down the mountain?
By the 50s, they got fucking James Cagney being shot at with real machine guns in like fucking gangster movies. There's a movie called Angels with Dirty Faces where there's this great shot where he's like leaning out a window. He's like, hey, you'll never get me, copper. And you're like, do, 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 do. And like the fucking glass around him breaks and bullet holes appear behind him. They shot real guns at him.
Jesus.
And it's like, no, we'll miss him.
Yeah.
That's what they based the Home Alone shit on.
Shoot around me.
Yeah, that's the movie. You fucking filthy. Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called Angels with Dirty Faces. Yeah.
I mean, I think they shot something original.
It is something, but that's like the title is taken from that gangster movie.
I know movie shit.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Bit.
Good job, bud. I think that's going to do it for this week. You guys good with that? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
You guys good to wrap?
Yeah, I got to go pick
Yeah,
Max up. So.
I have to go drive to Georgia.
Oh.
For like ever.
I feel like every episode you've got to drive somewhere as soon as we wrap.
My job requires a lot of travel, and it's difficult to be face to face doing this and managing to do that like week to week.
Yeah, Riley goes. We were texting him, and he goes, "Well, we could try and do it like via Zoom or whatever." And I was like, "I don't even know how to begin to set that up. I'd like, that's.
I mean, I could probably figure it out.
Hey." Producer
suck.
Drew, if you could figure it out, that'd be cool.
I don't want to produce that. You'll just have to come back.
He's in it for the podcast groupies.
Fine.
So, all right. Well, that'll be it for this week. Thank you for listening. If you like the show, the best way you can tell us is get on whatever you're listening to. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible. Those are the ones that I know that allow you to leave a rating and a review. Both of those things are great. Just a rating, pretty good, but leave a review. We don't care what you say. You can say whatever you want. You can tell us what you liked about this episode. You can tell us what you didn't like about this episode. You can tell us how your dad's hemorrhoid surgery went. We don't care.
Don't tell us that.
It's mostly to show that we have an engaged audience, and that's what helps us on the business side. So that is what you guys can do to help us out. Tell a friend, tell 2 friends, tell your mom, tell whomever, if you think that they're going to like it. You can
tell your
also
mom, tell your dad we were super rad.
What?
It's Aquabats. Super
Jesus.
Rad.
You
third wave ska. You can't even do third wave. You going to go for the fourth wave?
The fourth wave. I can't wait for it. I can't wait till it's
Fourth
here.
wave ska, it's coming.
I can see it on the horizon. It's
Then
looming.
we got fifth wave.
Fifth wave is going to happen.
Future
at some
ska.
point.
Future ska, fifth wave future ska. It's just
That's
all
coming at the same time.
All the horns are just like those like Saxma boom fucking like just burp, 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 burp.
Was that the fucking cantina on fucking Mos Eisley?
That's.
I know the song. How it was the same sound you made.
Did you know that every time I do that, I incorporate that into the Muppets theme song in my head?
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. I can see how those. I can see how those go into one another very seamlessly.
Yeah. We've talked about this on the podcast. You know what the Cantina song, what like the genre of music is, right?
Jizz.
Jizz.
Yeah.
Yes. It's called in the Star Wars world. That music is called jizz. That's not a joke. That is canonical lore.
That is what George Lucas decided it was called.
Canonical lore to the one of the biggest, most famous sci-fi franchises ever created in the history of man.
Wonder how Skeet Ulrich feels about that.
I think he should find.
What do you
one
think
of
the
those
name of that
flutes.
band was?
The Skeet.
The Jizz Band.
Skeet and the McBeaties. Was it the Jizz Band?
They are a Jizz band.
Oh, no, I'm gonna look it up right now.
So if you
Ooh, all right, that wasn't what I was looking for.
Jesus Christ. If you also want to see some visuals from every episode that we do, you can join us on Instagram, Delete Everything Podcast. We also have Facebook and Threads. We don't do a whole lot with those, unfortunately. We probably should. Looking at my social media guide.
Threads sucks.
Yeah, it does.
They're a fucking bunch of boners, dude. Like
It's
everything on Threads is the worst social media application I have ever seen since I've been watching all of them from the creation of social media. Like
I think Twitter still got it beat, but
no, dude, like it's the thing with Threads is all engagement posts. Like everything that you see is somebody posting something like Jurassic Park wasn't good. And like they post that so some asshole will be like, yes, it was, because you can monetize that sort of interaction. So if they get like 10,000 interactions, they get like $5 or something.
Jesus Christ.
The internet was a mistake.
Probably. So yeah, you can you can definitely follow us on Instagram, and and then you can see sort of like every episode when it drops. Other than today, you can see visuals from that episode. Photos of people, yada yada yada, whatever applies to that. So also, if you want to support the show even more than that, you can join us on Patreon. That's a great way to help out, and that is patreon.com/delete everything podcast. So without further ado,
The band in the Mos Eisley Cantina is Figurind On and the Modal Nodes, not to be confused, of course, with the one that you find in Jabba the Hutt's the palace, which is the Max Rebo Band.
Okay, are we talking about the 90's revamp or the original? Because in the 90's revamp, they had the CGI.
Whatever the fuck that was.
God, that scene was horrible.
Fucking
Yeah,
you can't even find the original shit anymore.
members of the Max Rebo Band include.
Really?
Yeah, like all the re-releases, it all has that garbage that he put in.
Yeah,
like
they
97 or
won't
whatever.
fucking change it. They won't. You can't get the original. You have to
Really?
buy the DVD that's got like the original unedited one as like a bonus feature.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
Or
still
you gotta have like a
unavailable.
VHS from.
Yeah, you fucking whatever. You could pirate it somewhere though, probably.
I'm sure.
Just gotta break the law. That's all. But yeah, members of
You
the
wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal your grandmother's pills. What is it? Movie piracy is a crime. I saw a funny post on Instagram that it started with a news story saying that in the future all of our meat could be 3D printed, and it was showing like a 3D printer making a fucking piece of steak, and then it immediately flipped to that thing from the beginning of like the movies, and it was that same like from behind the girl, and you could see the computer screen, and it's like, you wouldn't download a steak. I was like, hell yeah. That's fucking elite comedy. Whoever thought of that one.
Members of the Max Rebo Band include Bilba Labingi, Mara Labingi, Banazir Galpsy, and Ranu God Galpsy, and Kalamak Brandagamba.
I mean, I don't trust them. They're all on Jabba's payroll, so they're probably doing some shady shit on the side.
That was Bilbo Baggins, Frodo Baggins,
Was it really?
Samwise Gamgee, Hamfast Gamgee. Who the fuck is Hamfast Gamgee? And Meriadoc Brandybuck.
Is that the old gaffer?
Oh, it must be.
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
I don't know. But was he the gaffer on the movie? Is that what you're saying?
I gotta go
I think he was Key Grip.
Yeah.
get my kid, or he's gonna get a crash course in the 90s waiting for me.
Yeah, shit. We gotta go too. I gotta go live a life. Bye.
All right, bye.